everybody, and welcome to your Top Think Tanks review. I am your host, Bryce Dolan. Now, today we're going to visit 5 of your top 50 United States think tanks, and we're going to visit 5 different topics. Now, we'll first start with the Pew Research Center. They sent out a survey in August and got results back showing some similarities and differences between partisans on the issue of immigration. And then we'll go over to the Center for American Progress. They touch on the importance and difficulties of African American women in the U.S. economy. And then we'll move on to the Urban Institute, where they reveal the hidden costs of withholding vehicle registrations from people behind on their child support payments. And then the Inter-American Dialogue will show us the potential of mobile learning in Latin America. And then we will end with the Brookings Institution, where 2 authors shed some light on possible college money-back guarantees. So college students, or anybody else with any sort of student loan debt, stick around. Now, one of the main political issues in this presidential campaign is immigration. But once it's broken down, I don't think people realize that the issue is not as left and right-winged as it's believed to be. Now, when broken down, the majority actually believe, both from the Republican side and the Democratic side, both believe that border security and a path to citizenship should get equal priority. Now, after a national survey was conducted from August 9th to August 16th with a group of 2,010 adults, 76% say undocumented immigrants are just as hardworking and honest as U.S. citizens. Now, 67% say they are no more likely to commit a serious crime than U.S. citizens, and 61% oppose the building of a wall along the Mexico border. So, for all of you out there who are maybe sweating or worrying that Trump was going to get his wish of building his wall, good news is over 60% of America doesn't want that wall. Now, here's what I thought was really interesting overall. 29% of the public prioritizes creating a way for immigrants already here illegally to become citizens if they meet certain requirements, while 24% say the focus should be on better border security and stronger enforcement of immigration laws. However, when given the option of both, 45% say that both should be given equal priority. Party affiliation or not, the population as a whole say that these views should be given equal priority. Now, this got me thinking, how many other issues out there could we offer people a third answer, a third option? How many times are we sitting here arguing between A and B and C is right in front of us, but we just choose not to look at it or acknowledge it? Just like this presidential campaign, you don't have to vote for Trump. You don't have to vote for Hillary. There's a third option. Is he the best option? I don't know, but I'm just saying, there's a third option. Who knows? Maybe if we could do this on some more issues, we might find out that we're not as separated on views as we think. Now, if you want to see the final results for this survey, all of the results and even more details are on this article on the Pew Research Center, and the link can be found below in the description. Now, moving on to the Center for American Progress. They bring to service amongst all of the racial discourse this year a racial issue that really doesn't get much attention. Now, African American women face several difficulties in the workplace that could really hold them back from their full potential. African American women actually turn to earn less than their female white counterparts as well. Now, regardless of your marital status, your parental status, your financial status, whatever it may be, everyone faces work-life conflict at some point. Sick child, family emergency, family vacation, maybe you're sick. Now, despite the nearly universal need for such policies, African American working women and men often have less access to paid sick days, fair and flexible scheduling, or any paid family or medical leave. Now, the occupational experiences of African American women are diverse, with a growing number in management and other high-paying jobs, and others in service occupations, which tend to be lower paying and allow less access to the aforementioned workplace protections. However, 35.2% of African American working women are employed in management, professional, and related occupations. Now, 29.2% are employed in sales and office occupations. 27.7% are employed in service occupations. Now, despite African American women's increase in representation in higher paying occupations, nearly half of low-wage women workers are women of color. Overall, 18% of low-wage women workers are specifically African American. Now, African American women play a crucial role in their family security. In 2013, actually, 66.9% of African American mothers were their household's breadwinner. Now, you need time off when you are the breadwinner, especially when you are the breadwinner. It means you're putting in more hours, you're making more money, but when compared with otherwise comparable white workers, African American working men and women are 5.3% less likely to have flexible days and 7.2% less likely to have flexible work hours. Now, staying on the topic of families and family support, Urban Institute author Eleanor Pratt makes a great argument on the issue of child support and withholding driver's license and vehicle registration. Now, she begins by referring to a new child support policy in Texas that will be implemented in December. While all 50 states already can suspend or revoke parents' driver's license for failure to pay child support, this policy will allow the child support enforcement to withhold vehicle registrations. Now, I don't know if I agree with this, ladies and gentlemen. Please let it be known, I don't agree with being late on child support payments, but I don't agree on making it more difficult. Now, what I disagree with, like I said, is making it more difficult for those individuals to make those payments. Because if you make it more difficult, they're not going to get caught up, therefore they're going to be incarcerated. Once they're incarcerated, they can't make money in there, and if they do make money in there, it's not enough money to get caught up on their payments. So essentially, you're not trying to help these people out and get caught up on their payments, you're trying to dig them in a deeper hole. This system wasn't set up to help people get out of it. It's almost set up to help people get more deeper into debt that they can never get out or get ahead. Now, the logic behind the enforcement policies like this is that it's going to be threatening to take something away from parents who are behind on payments. Well, unfortunately, this logic assumes that all non-custodial parents don't pay because they simply don't want to. Now, studies have shown, however, that many parents don't pay because they don't earn enough money. And that is also true. It's not a race stereotype, it's a stereotype towards divorced couples. Because somebody doesn't pay their child support, people automatically assume it's because they don't want to. No, most of the reason why is because they can't, or they don't have enough money. Now, also, withholding vehicle registrations, it's only going to lead to negative consequences for both the parents and the child. Now, first, taking away the registration won't matter to some. They're going to try to drive anyways. But if and when they get caught, they will then have to pay those fines. And in addition, some may have no choice to drive with no registration because they need to get to their job. And if they don't get to their job because they don't have a car, they're going to lose their job. Now, all of these factors contribute to making the child support payments more and more backed up instead of attempting to get them caught up. It's ridiculous. You think they would set up a program that would really help these people move forward. Now, because of this all these factors, it results in a greater chance of people getting behind on their payments more and, as a result, getting incarcerated. Now, that's just basically the end of the line. Now, once you get incarcerated because you're behind on your payments, you have no chance of getting caught up. It's almost impossible. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye out after December, what happens in Texas, and see if this new implementation will really make a difference on people getting caught up on their child support payments. Now we'll move over to the Inter-American Dialogue, where they posted a blog from early August, Potential of Mobile Learning in Latin America. Now, Latin America is one of the most proactive regions in the world when it comes to integrating new technologies into education policies. However, the majority of programs in the region have focused exclusively on the provision of laptops in schools through one-to-one policies. Thus far, it has produced disappointing results and limited learning improvements. These results make it difficult to justify the high amount of time, effort, and resources that have been invested this far. Now, this does not imply that the use of information technology in education is a failure, but rather it can be seen as an invitation to reconsider which policy options are available and seek new alternatives that may give better results. Now, mobile learning focuses on using mobile devices like cell phones, tablets, to create a ubiquitous learning experience. Now, technology's portability facilitates learning opportunities which are no longer tied to the classroom, but rather can occur at any time or place. Now, the use of mobile phones for learning is only one of many categories within mobile learning. Mobile learning with cellular phones has high potential in Latin America. A recent study by the World Bank reveals that 87% of Latin Americans own a phone, and the availability of mobile bandwidth has also increased considerably in the last few years. It is estimated that by 2020, smartphones will represent 68% of total network connections, and that 76% of the population will have mobile bandwidth available. The daily use of mobile phones make it a tool that will have low adoption barriers and will be easy to integrate into this education system. Now, the authors go on to point out various areas in mobile learning that could improve education: literacy, academic reinforcement, teacher management and training, and education systems administration and assessments. But after all these positives, the authors also list the disappointing realities of why this really has not happened. Now, first, insufficient testing and evidence of mobile learning's potential, and also affordable mobile bandwidth and the lack of digital literacy. Now, today we're going to end the show with the Brookings Institution. We're also going to make this our hashtag for today because I feel like this is only appropriate, and this is a major issue in the United States right now with the ever-growing student loan debt. Now, the authors from the Brookings Institution, Beth Akers and Stuart M. Butler, asked the question: Should college come with a money-back guarantee? Well, interesting enough, it's pretty common sense. Why wouldn't you get a money-back guarantee for college? If you really think about it, every large purchase you make, cars, computers, TVs, they come with a money-back guarantee or some sort of warranty. Why not college? College is a tremendous expense. For some, it's the largest expense of their lives. This fall, 3 million college students will start earning their degree. 3 million new college students. Now, by the time they graduate, they can expect to have spent more money on their degree that many households in the United States earn in an entire year. Now, many will have accumulated also tens of thousands of dollars of debt. Now, I don't mean to laugh, but I can absolutely relate. Now, this doesn't sound convincing at all to some who haven't attended college, who are thinking about maybe just working right out of high school, not attending college. Well, how do people keep coming back and attending college and pay these outrageous prices? Well, this is a quote straight from the authors. Because they believe it will be worth it. They believe that the institution they've chosen will fulfill all of the promises made to them in the glossy recruiting pamphlets during campus tours led by a charming upperclassman. But what if it doesn't? Too bad. That's the answer right now. Too bad. But why not? Why not have a guarantee on higher education? If your new car engine breaks, the warranty will cover the cost of the repair. But that is not the case in higher education. Colleges have, until recently, managed to avoid being held accountable by guarantees for the quality of their product and the promises of their advertising. However, we are starting to see a change around the country. A number of institutions now offer some sort of on-time graduation guarantee, which is great because only 19% of full-time students earn a degree within these 4 years. A guaranteed graduation time would help combat the expenses of extended enrollment. Now, some colleges, they're even addressing the institutional barriers like course availability. That can be the main cause of extended enrollment towards getting a degree. For example, SUNY Buffalo created a guarantee program called Finish in 4. If students in that program fail to graduate on time after participating in advising programs, declaring a major by their second year of study, and taking a full course load each semester, then their tuition is free until they complete their degree. And this is just the start. Various other institutions around the country are establishing the same sort of programs. And the authors actually point out a number of other institutions that have implemented programs sort of like this one in Buffalo. You can find all of these articles and their links below in the description. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, give us a like on Facebook, and follow us on Twitter. But make sure you stay tuned. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Don't know what yet, you have to stay tuned. But until next time, this was your Top Think Tanks review, and I was your host, Bryce Dolan.